So you telling me you use your children as test rats for your drug to see how it will react in drug addicts? Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Bass B, and today I'll be discussing episode 8 of Ryan Murphy's latest show on FX called The Beauty. The show opens back up with Bryon perfecting his speech for The Beauty's release. He gets on stage and he presents the commercial for The Beauty that he is going to drop. And we see the people who is going through different ailments in life turning to these beautiful younger people and dancing in the street. They in there talking about no need to consult a doctor because The Beauty is for everyone. Just get the booster. They even got different packages you can buy to fit your needs. The scene tickled me so much because it reminds you of those medicine commercials that come on TV and you end up with worse ailments than what you begin with. Next, we see them people from Vogue that got that shit, right? They done transform, and I know it's stinking there. This got to be so inhumane. I mean, I understand they don't want to take no chances, but you're not going to let the people wash. And where is the bathroom? Where are the people relieving themselves? It's these boys in there, and one guy is trying to get the other one to, eat something, drink something so he can get strong. But I'm with the other boy. I can't eat in no place like this. The guy was saying how a piece of that girl who exploded had got into his mouth, and he thinks that's how he got it. The other boy says how he haven't seen his face, but from feeling it, he could tell that it's different. The other guy was like, yeah, you are beautiful. And then the other boy was like, you beautiful too. He like, I always wanted to be called that. I know y'all not flirting in here in conditions like this. Alarm goes off and you see the latch open and they start pouring this, I guess is a protein drink for their food. I don't know. All I know is I don't want it. So the weak one did end up getting any food. So the guy gives him some food so that he can eat it. That boy was like, bitch, I do not want this shit.
Cause I'm ready to get the fuck ASAP after this shit.
Next thing we know, the roof opens up and these people drop down and tell them to get back. Next thing we know, they go and blast all them people. Then they got the fuck up out of there. It's old boy running from me because, bitch, where are you going? We cut to Cooper and Jordan talking with their eyes, and Antonio and Jeremy is peeping that shit out. Antonio tells Jeremy they over here talking in Morse code. You got to watch they ass because they are a threat. Cooper says he only a threat if you make him one. And Antonio not trying to hear all that because we not in that hospital no more. It's more opportunity out here. Cooper and Jordan try to switch that thing and get Antonio and Jeremy to turn on each other. But Antonio caught that shit and said, y'all just mad because y'all can't hanky-panky because you got that shit and Cooper don't want it. Hell, if he loves you, he would do it and ask questions later. He tells Cooper, you got a face of a catcher's mitt. You the only one ugly in here. You might as well come on this side. The water is warm. Cooper said, I heard it's going to get hot. Then Jordan was at Jeremy like, did he tell you how this work? Then here come Cooper, or did he leave out some details? Now, Antonio was like, I knew y'all was hatching a plan when y'all was doing all that blinking. And Jeremy, they coming for you because they deem you as the weaker one. Well, they thought right because he is the weaker one. Antonio like, you gonna let them disrespect you like that? Cooper like, you gonna let him treat you like an idiot? Jordan let him know that people who is on this shit been blowing up. Now, Antonio done had enough and grabbed Jordan by her throat and popped Cooper in his fucking face and told they ass that that's enough. He don't want to hear any more talking and that most cool shit y'all got going on, cut it out. And Jeremy says, all I know is y'all better stop fucking with me. Jeremy do ask what is they talking about. Am I going to like pop? What do you mean by that? Antonio told him not to listen to them. I'm hoping because you going to take that boy to get his booster shot every time it's due, and you're not just going to let him run out of time and blow up. So we get to the place, and as soon as Jeremy and Antonio hopped out the back of the truck, we see these people. They storm in. They get Cooper and Jordan. Antonio thinking things all fun and games because mission accomplished. But what he didn't know is, bitch, you caught too, and they grab him and Jeremy. We get a scene with Bryon's wife, Fanny, and their sons. And yes, they do look like complete failures in life. A douchebag with bad style, if you ask me. But anyway, they come now here to ask for some money. Bryon is not interested in his children. It's Gunther's birthday, and Bryon don't even know which child is Gunther. And he have far more interesting things to do and talk about than figure out which one is which. The servant, now she brings in this presentation that the sons had to gain an investment from their daddy. Gunther, who is the one in that ugly ass jacket, starts the proposal speech. And Bryon can see past their bullshit business plan before he even let him get to the second paragraph. How much is this going to cost me? Well, they came up with this streaming service called a Broha, where it's a bunch of dude stuff to watch, basically. Bryon says, I thought this idea would be like going in the backyard and setting $20 million on fire. How long have y'all been clean? That idea must have been giving him that they was high when they came up with it. Bryon starts to talk about the Williams family and how their daughter, who was knocking on death's door, have a better trajectory in life than them two. And now Fanny, she done had enough, because don't talk about her precious baby boys like that. Bryon goes off on them boys. He said he wish he had sons that he didn't have to deny existed. He says how the amount of money he has spent to try and prove that them boys do not belong to him could feed a small village. He had enough of their fuck shit, okay? He kicked them out that dining room like Martin. Fanny hurt because she loved her grown fuck ups. And Bryon wants to love them too. He really do, because you see him tearing up. He says they gave them boys the world. And look what they became. Fanny feels that Bryon's love was conditional. You got to get something out of it. Bryon says his best offspring was his work. And now that his favorite child is all grown up, he will be doing a 2-hour commercial block on all streaming platforms and social media. We are going global. Back to Jeremy, Antonio, Cooper, and Jordan. Cooper wakes up Antonio, and Cooper recognizes this place as the place that the people with the shit is supposed to be at, being quarantined. Jordan's like, well, obviously it's not, and we need to think of something before we end up like them. Cooper tells Antonio whoever he works for fucks him, and we got to think fast. Now, Antonio is in shock because he didn't think Bryon would do him like that. And Jeremy is realizing his new life is about to be over quicker than he thought. And he goes to Antonio and asks if he's been fucked from the start. Antonio didn't even have the heart to tell him, but slick Jeremy, you know that because the only reason he spared you was because you weren't scared to die. Jeremy goes off on Antonio though, because baby is hurt. He was like, I've trusted you with everything. All this father and son bullshit was all a lie. You never actually gave a damn about me. Antonio told him, if you want me to save your life, you best change that tone. Jeremy wasn't with it though, and he jumped on Antonio's ass. Cooper told him, we don't have time for this bullshit. If you want to live, y'all need to chill. Soon as he said that, them armed people, they came in that room and grabbed Cooper right on up and took him out the room. We see Bryon. He's listening to the scientist who wants to keep getting funding for his testing to finish figuring out a way for mankind to live in space. And he had everything set up. We were supposed to be going to Mars next week to explore that. Bryon said he is uninterested in some shit we gonna need 1,000 years from now. He is no longer interested in this anymore because it's going to help the future generations and not him. He got something that's going to help mankind today, and that's where his money is going, and he kicked the scientists out the damn office. We hear this lady voice from the other side of the room asking if he going to drop her next. Now, lady, you know the answer to that. Bryon says he's been losing interest in her project for months, and if she didn't play with robots all day, she wouldn't have the emotional IQ of a stock pot. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but I am insulted for her. Old girl said, this is not just a job for me. I'm trying to save mankind, help global warming. Bryon says this was a business. This is a competition, and unfortunately, she lost the race Fountain of Youth that we hope he gonna fix because it got that little blowing up bug thing still going on. Girl not going out without a fight though, because she said she lost her husband and any chance of having children behind him and trying to get her project out. Bryon says, well, look on the bright side. If you wrote a book, it will read, Titan of industry develops internet weirdo who sees humanity in machines. Some stories just have a shitty ending. Girl was like, you know Ray's product is some bullshit. That man does not have that shit together and you know it. Bryon had enough of her because at the end of the day, baby, you lost. She can't believe she fell for his bullshit. She asked, what do he want her to do with the beacons that is still out in the wild collecting data? First, he told her to just repurpose them, but then he changed his mind and said, leave them out there and we will see how long it takes for people to find them. He heard someone is already engaged to one. So I'm looking like, what she got, robots out there pretending to be humans and people falling in love with it? What is going on? The bodyguard / hitman, right? He enters Bryon's office without knocking, so Bryon knows this is important. He leaves that girl sitting right there. But girl lets him know that her product is more ready than he knows and she's going to take it elsewhere and he will be sorry. Bryon let her ass know right then and there, I don't know what you talking about because you signed in your contract a non-compete agreement. So you're not taking that product anyway. So if you're going to leave, you're going to have to start from scratch. He tells her, listen, I'll do this for you. Get it to work for 10% of your original budget. And if you don't, then you're done. And he walks away. Back to Cooper. Cooper in this room. And he is told to do as he is told. From this guy who was watching them that now I realize that's William. Y'all remember him. He had the daughter who was sickly. And he teamed up with Bryon to set up Cooper and Jordan, right? Y'all got it. Cooper looks through the glass, but he don't recognize this man talking to him. He tells him, I was a guy who did what he was told. I had a very sickly child. I did what I was told, and I got what I wanted. Now, Cooper look confused because what a sick child got to do with any of this? William says, you understand my child's situation. Cooper now jogging his mind trying to figure out what he talking about. That's when it hit him that that's Williams and he set them up. So now Cooper, he going off, but Williams just keep telling him, do as you're told. Back to Bryon's life. We see Fanny, she in the dining room crying and telling him how that after working so hard on a broha and failing, they relapsed and they got a bad batch. Bryon does not seem concerned at all, as he will never be. And Fanny says they are going to the hospital because this could be their last time. Once again, Bryon is uninterested in going to see his sons, but this time it's because he's bringing them to her. Fanny a little confused because how you got them here without me noticing? The boys walk into the dining room and you see that they took the shot and now they're healthy, and Fig, who was the fat one, is kind of funny looking, but I guess better than before. I don't know. That's a toss up for me. But Gunther, he is black because apparently Bryon got some African in him. He got like 10% Nigerian or something. Fanny is in shock and very upset. And Bryon says that Fanny wasn't answering her phone, and since they didn't take his number off the emergency contact list, like I have been asking him to do for many, many years now, he got to them first. Bryon tells her, listen, this is better for them because now their lifestyle of addiction that they just cannot escape from would no longer hurt them. Gunther talking about he done had 6 martinis and he don't even feel a buzz yet. I don't know if that's the beauty or the fact that you have an addiction problem and your tolerance is probably high as hell, but okay. Bryon talking about he been wondering how it will work on specimens like them and who's better to test it out on than our boys. So you telling me you use your children as test rats for your drug to see how it will react in drug addicts? Bryon is a real shitty person because he know that drug is not safe. Fanny is just so happy that they are back no matter what they look like. And Bryon says that he's open to doing a Christmas card this year. And Fanny told him, I need you to slow your roll. You done crossed the line when you stuck that drug in my baby's veins. Bryon is confused because, bitch, where is my thank you? Look what I made better for you. We should be celebrating. Have a bottle or two and bring you to the other side so we can have a beautiful family. Fanny is not with it though, and she hates that he even put her in a predicament like this. She says she will have her vengeance on him if it takes her last dying breath. He has been warned. Cooper goes back in the room and they want to know what happened now. Well, Antonio wants to know if they asked about him, but ain't nobody asked about you, boy. That's not who out there. Cooper whispers to Jordan that he believes that Williams is trying to save them. He explains to her that he's been affected, but voluntarily. Cooper tells her that things are going to get crazy, but she got to trust him. And of course she do because she love him. The roof of that room opens up and we see the people drop down into the room like last time. First we thought they was going to blast them, but they told them to hop on. Cooper tells them to do as they are told, and so they grab on. Jeremy go to Antonio for reassurance, and Antonio was like, hey, do as you're told. I mean, hell, we can't do shit down here to protect ourselves. We might as well go. And that's the end of the show. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and also subscribe to the channel. And until next time, bye guys.